Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining us. Sorry we were absent for the last 3 days. Friday afternoon I came down with like a stomach bug and basically laid me up all weekend. So we did miss TCG with juniors, we did miss Friday's episode, and we did miss Sunday Funday unfortunately. But I will have those series back next week. I do apologize. But right now, going forward, we're going to be doing standard decks for states. We're going to try and like redo some of the decks we maybe did on the channel because some of them I still feel are viable. We will also be exploring some new decks as well, and next week I'll have a brand new deck that came out with the Breakpoint series. But this week, we're going to go over a deck that I still feel is going to be very, very strong and very, very good, and that's YZG. That's going to be Yveltal Zoroark Gallade. And there's a couple of things that make this deck really good. One, it's consistent, it sets up well, it's easy to use, and it applies a lot of pressure in most cases for just a double colorless energy. So let's take a look at the deck. Pretty standard, you got your 2 Shaman, set up, place it from your hand on your bench. You could draw it so you have 6 cards in your hand. Draw support is very good, and this is pretty much your draw support in standard, the Shaman EX. You really don't have much else other than it. For other draw support, we went with Sycamore. We're playing 4. You could probably go down to 3. However, I'm still kind of tooling around with the deck a little bit. This is by no means a definitive build of the deck. It's just something I tinkered around with yesterday, posted it on Verbank, got a little bit of feedback on it, and made a couple modifications. Originally, I was running Max Elixir, but it didn't really work out because of the low darkness count we're running. So that's going to be your draw support. I did play 2 Judge. The reason why I'm playing Judge is I feel like it's easier to get cards out of your hand starting at 4 down to where you need to hit your maxis, and we'll go over that in a second. So first we'll go over the Pokemon line. Star of the show is Fright Knight Yveltal. Now, before in this deck, it was all the X and Y Yveltal, but right now I really like Fright Knight Yveltal for 2 reasons. One, it does hit 60 damage to benched EX Pokemon, so things like Shaman sitting on the bench will just get absolutely destroyed by this thing. If they can't knock it out in 2 or 3 turns, they're taking a lot of damage to their bench Pokemon. They can even take 70 if you got your Reverse Valley out, so we'll go over all that. But it does a lot of damage. It applies a lot of pressure to bench Pokemon. And then Fright Knight. I really like the ability Fright Knight. The reason why Fright Knight is going to be extremely good from here on out is Fighting Fury Belt. I've taken 4 prize cards in a turn just from promoting Fright Knight Yveltal, knocking off the Fighting Fury Belt, taking a KO, and then either swapping in and seeing what they swap into active, and then you could possibly take another KO on a bench EX if they had one sitting back there with damage, or you could bring up your Yveltal and finish it off. I've done a lot of damage with Fright Knight Yveltal, and it is the best Yveltal to play right now, so we're going to play 2 of that. We do still play 1 of the X and Y Yveltal. Well, in this case, we have the Generations Radiant Collection Yveltal. Oblivion Wing is still a really strong attack just for 1 energy. Allows you to put a Darkness energy from your discard pile onto one of your bench Pokemon. So that's, it's still really good to have around, but we're only going to play 1 of it. Where prior to this Fright Knight being added into the deck, you probably ran 3 of these. I would suggest a split of 2 to 1. If you want to disagree with me down in the comments, yeah, we can have a discussion about it. Definitely open to try to make this deck better. So leave a comment down below as far as the Yveltal split, and we can talk about it here. Of course, we're going to run 2 Yveltal EX. It's pretty much the star of the show. Evil Ball, 20 damage times plus 20 more for each energy attached to both Pokemon. Still really strong. Y Cyclone, still really strong. Don't really need to discuss this card too much. It's been absolutely dominating the meta for like the last 2 years now, so don't really need to talk about that. One of the new cards from Breakpoint, however, is Darkrai EX. The reason why I love this card in the deck, and I was testing it in Expanded before I decided to switch this over to Standard, is Dark Pulse. It does 20 more damage for each Darkness energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you have a bunch of Darkness energy in play, which you should from this deck, you can apply an insane amount of pressure just for a double colorless energy. And that's why, this is really good in the deck, especially late game if you have a lot of Darkness energy sitting around. You bring up your Darkrai EX, it does have 180 HP, so it's a little bit harder to knock out than your Yveltal, and then you can start Dark Pulsing for a DCE. It's really nice to have. Also, if you need to, late in the game, if you know you're going to lose your Yveltal, you can Y Cyclone the DCE back to your Darkrai. Or you can Y Cyclone another Darkness energy back down so Darkrai keeps up its pressure. You have options to keep the energy in play if you know you're going to lose your Yveltal a turn or two later. So definitely you got to play smart with this deck. You can misplay very easily, but as long as you play smart, you should be able to win most of your matchups. There's very few bad matchups this deck has. Now, one thing is this Yveltal is weak to fighting, which is problematic, or Darkrai rather, I'm sorry, is weak to fighting, which is problematic. We don't really have anything to cover the fighting weakness. Most of them are either weak to grass, some are weak to water, most are weak to psychic. We don't have anything to cover that, so you will have to watch out for those matchups. Basically, you have to watch out for opposing Gallade. A couple of other cards that are really good in the deck. Zoroark is amazing in this deck in Standard. Ability stand-in, much like Keldeo at Floatstone, gives free retreat, but it's an extremely viable attack as well. Mind Jack, it does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So with a full bench, it's going to hit for 160 for just a DCE. And that is insane for just a DCE on a non-EX Pokemon. So again, we're applying a lot of pressure for just one double colorless energy. Also in the deck, we have 2 Breakthrough Gallade. Mainly 1, Premonition provides an insane amount of consistency. You get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you may put them back in any order you like. Also, Sensitive Blade. If you've played a supporter card from your hand during a turn's attack, does 70 more damage. So again, 130 damage for a DCE. Mainly you're doing this to hit weakness against things like Manectric or another Darkrai. So it's a nice tech attacker to have. Mainly you're going to just use it for its ability, but if you have to attack with it, there's worse attacks you could have. It's actually a really good one. You're always going to be playing supporters more than likely because you have the Premonition ability. So it's something you have to rely on. You can make sure you either have a VS Seeker or a supporter at the top of your deck every single turn. To get Gallade into play, you notice we don't play any Ralts or Curlia. Curlia, I don't know how to pronounce it, whatever. We have Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. When it's the last card in your hand, you play it, you put a fighting Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench and draw 5 cards. We get down in cards with Acrobike. Can really help you get cards in your discard pile and look through top cards of your deck, really looking for things to help you discard down, like Ultra Balls. Or it's Ultra Balls the only thing we have that could discard right now. We do play 4 Trainers Mail to seek out our trainers, like our Ultra Balls, Battle Compressors. We're going to play 4 of them right now. You probably can get away with playing 2 in the deck. Right now, we're going to start with 4. We can modify it up a little bit here and there. I always like starting with 4, especially if we're going to rely on Gallade. You want to make sure you have 4 compressors. Get those in the discard. Get your Maxies in the discard. Thin out your deck a little bit. And then maybe some Darkness in the discard if you're starting with the XY Yveltal. The Battle Compressor is really good in this deck. Now we play Judge because if you have to go to 4 cards, it'll probably be easier to get down to that last card for Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. So that's why we're playing Judge. We're going to play 2, but you probably can get away with 1 and adding in a Zerosic, or bringing this down to 3 and adding in Zerosic. Getting ability locked with Garbodor will probably be an issue, and it's probably something we'll look to change, adding a Zerosic in the deck and throughout the week. But right now, I'm not including Zerosic, but probably by the end of the week I will be. 1 Lysander, pretty standard. You could make the argument to play 2, but I always play just the 1. Let's see here. 3 Reverse Valleys. Reverse Valleys is great in this deck. Basically, choose which way the card faces, just like any other stadium, and it does your Darkness Pokemon do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. We have Fighting Fury Belt. This is really one of the stars of the deck. Basic Pokemon cards attached to get 40 HP, and its attacks do 10 more damage. So your Yveltal is going to go up to 210 HP. Now, it's important to play Fighting Fury Belt for a couple of reasons. One, Greninja Break is going to be running around there, and it's really easy for them to hit for 170 in a turn. So you always want to have the Fighting Fury Belt on your Yveltal EX to prevent those one-hit knockouts from Greninja Break. They have a harder time doing the Darkrai EX, so that it doesn't really need the Fighting Fury Belt in most situations. The only downfall of that is you can't put them on Zoroark or Gallade. Well, I mean, you can, but it will have no effect. Zoroark more than likely will have a Floatstone on it anyways. Gallade would really like to have a Muscle Band, but that's a sacrifice we're making for more damage or more longevity out of our EXs or our basic Yveltals. and it's one I'm okay with making. And then energy counts, we're gonna play 7 dark, 4 double colorless, and of course 2 floatstone. So let's hop into the deck. Let's play a few matches, and then we'll see what we can do. If you have any opinions about the deck, please leave them in the comments down below. We'll definitely have discussion about it, because this is something that I'm looking to play for the upcoming season for standard, until something changes. But this is pretty much my go-to deck right now. Before it was Mega Manetric, and I really, really liked Mega Manetric, but now I feel like there's too much support fighting with Garchomp and Gallade, so we're going to switch it up. All right, let's see what we got here. Heads. Let's go. Yeah! Now we just got to hope for a good start. Let's go. I always see this symbol, and I don't know why that is. Okay, this is, it could get worse. My opponent had no basics, so that's good. We're going to get to draw again. And we have the 3 Ultra Balls. We have the Sycamore. And my opponent's playing Garchomp, which is... I mean, let me think. If he has a strong energy, he's hitting for 160. 160 with a strong energy. We need the Fighting Fury Belts to make sure we're living. A lot of our Pokemon are weak to fighting, like Darkrai and the Zoroark, so we have to make sure we kind of... I wouldn't say avoid them, but make sure they don't stay too long active. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna Battle Compressor. I want to get rid of my Gallade. We'll probably get rid of my Gallade, my other Gallade, and one of my Maxies. So there's that. We will hold on. Let's see if we can pull this off this turn. Because we're going to discard 1, 2, right? Discard. Yeah, I think we could pull this off this turn. No, we can't, because we don't have a VS Seeker in hand. Well, let's see if we can get a Shaman out, draw 2 cards, see if one of them could be a VS Seeker, and maybe like an energy or something, because then we can pull it off this turn. So we'll Shaman for 2. No, that didn't really help. Okay, but we did get another Battle Compressor, so we will compressor away a couple of things. Let's see. Energies don't really make sense here, so we're going to discard. Let's see. Let's discard our Judge. I don't really want to draw into Judge. I just want to be able to have it when I need it. So we'll get rid of our Judge. And we'll get rid of our other Maxies, because at this point here, I don't know if I'll ever need to draw into it. Now, the only thing is we cannot Ultra Ball again, because I don't want to have an empty hand. That's where Ultra Balling for Shaman, but I don't want to bench 2 Shaman. Okay, we'll Acro Bike. Really looking for a Floatstone here. We'll take this Ultra Ball. I'm not going to Ultra Ball yet. Trainer's Mail. I'm really, really, really looking for Floatstone, and we didn't find it. That's okay. We're going to attach a double colorless energy to the Yveltal on the bench, and then we are going to end our turn. I'm not going to play the Ultra Ball because I don't want to discard anything I really have. I mean, I'm okay with getting rid of maybe one of the VS Seekers, but I'd like to see what I top deck first. And there comes the Startling Megaphone. That's okay. We play another one. Whew. Turn 1, and we lose it, so... That's so good. Now, he's playing the Remoraid, which means if he's playing Level Ball, here's the problem he's going to have with his deck. If he's playing Level Balls, he's going to have a hard enough time clearing items out of his hand. And he's going to judge us here, which is okay, because he can put us into a situation where we could probably hit our Maxies if we need to, because we're going to take 1 less card in our hand. Right now, it's pretty good. I mean, if we hit a VS Seeker off this Trainer's Mail, we can easily get it. So, alright, Zoroark, so we're good there. Let's see if we can hit VS Seeker. We did not. Okay, that's okay. Let's play Acrobike, see what we get out of Acrobike. Darkness Energy or Sycamore. We'll get the Sycamore. So we're going to need some draw. Because really we're looking for Floatstone. I want to take the knockout on this Gaibo before he can get anything going with it. Because if he gets Garchomp set up, we're in trouble. Man, no Floatstone, huh? We'll bench our Fright Night Eviltal. I'll take away his Muscle Band if we needed to. And, I don't know if I want to compress or anything. So that should be fine. Let's see what we have. We already played our supporter. I don't want to VS Seeker away for anything yet. We might judge next turn, but let's see. I'd rather save it till we know what we're going to do next turn. We might have to judge our Lysander. But yeah, not hitting a Floatstone right now is pretty troublesome. You know, we can probably Mind Jack next turn if he plays him, if he bridgets and fills up his bench. So we can Mind Jack and take a knockout, unless of course he can Rare Candy up to Garchomp. If he Rare Candies up to Garchomp, then we just bring up Eviltal and take the knockout that way. So either way, we have a knockout next turn, more than likely. We just got to see what he goes with. I know Gaibo can be fished out with an with a level ball, so we're probably taking the knockout here either way if he manually evolves, unless of course he's got the Rare Candy. Let's see. The energy going down on the basic. All right. And he's going to never enough. So we have the knockout. And I'm okay with, in this case here, putting the double colorless on the Zoroark. That way I'm not going to give up 2 prize cards should anything occur. We are going to judge this turn because he just drew a bunch of cards. I don't know what he has. So we're going to judge. Trying to conserve bench space in case we can hit the maxis. Yes, I'm okay with getting fewer cards in my hand. Really trying to hit the maxis here. We got the Reverse Valley. I don't know if I need to play it, but we're pretty much set up so that way we can hit the maxis next turn, provided we get something we can play. Because we'll play the energy, but I don't... kind of like to keep cards in my hand just in case it's like an Ultra Ball or something. And we don't need the Reverse Valley yet, and I'd hate for him to play a Stadium and wipe out our Stadium, so we'll just Mind Jack. Alright, so we're hitting for 100, and we're going to take a prize card too. Yeah, so we're going to need an Ultra Ball, something to clear out our hand. Because we can bench Reverse Valley and we can play the Darkrai. Oh, well, he's going to red card us anyways. And this doesn't work. We can't play 2 energies in a turn. But he's still in a predicament where he needs to... Well, he's probably going to grab Garchomp and Rare Candy right now. So, oh, he's grabbing Gabite. Might grab a Gabite and a Rare Candy because he probably has a Garchomp. He's going to do the second one manually. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. He's probably going to Turbo Assault and Tetchin Energy to the Gabite on the bench. Makes sense. Why wouldn't he? Garchomp decks are pretty scary. It's not one that I really fear with this deck, to be 100% honest with you guys. Let's see how much damage we're doing. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hit for enough damage. So we have 4, which is 80, plus the 20 is 100, 110. And then we have to attach 1 more Darkness Energy to make our number. And he's got the Focus Sash. So that's a problem. This is where Fright Night Eviltal comes in handy, but it's not really going to matter. Yeah, that slow start kind of killed us. Alright, we'll promote our Eviltal EX. Alright, so let's see. We're going to play the Reverse Valley. We're going to attach a Darkness Energy to it, and we're going to Y-Cyclone. We can't take the knockout on it anyways, and this way we can have a Darkness Energy on our Fright Night Eviltal. So we could just attach DCE and go from there. Having the Fighting Resist is going to help out a little bit, especially if you can't get any strong energy going. I would like to try to retreat this Eviltal this turn and just start using Fright Night, because I could try to take the KO on that bench Shaman. Really all depends on what he does, though. It's probably going to be the play. I probably should have attached Float, but I was too worried about getting the bite off damage. There's the Garchomp, so that's going down. However, that one only has a Muscle Band on it, so we can potentially one-shot it. Really all depends. I guess it depends on our top deck to see what we're going to do. Because if we can Lysander that up and take a one-shot on it, that would be preferable, seeing as we have a whole bunch of HP left with this Eviltal. I don't really want to risk it. Oh, no. Let's see. So we'll do 180. We have 170 left in HP. So I don't necessarily want to give up the prize cards here, so we're going to have to retreat. I don't love it, but we got to do what we got to do. And we'll take the Pitch Black Spear, and then we'll do 70 and 70. Next turn, we're going to KO that Shaman on the bench unless he pulls it up somehow. I don't know how he's going to do that. We did get a Shaman of our own for some draw support, which we kind of need right now. We'll probably attach Floatstone to the Eviltal. But his Garchomp's not going to be as good as he wants it to be right now because he doesn't have his Muscle Band. His Bite Off's only doing 60 damage, so it's a 3-hit KO. So it's not great. Even if he plays Fighting Stadium, it's not going to help him out. He's going to 3-hit KO us. We're going to 2-hit KO him. And then we're going to take a prize on the Shaman on the bench. So we're in a pretty good spot with Fright Night Eviltal being active right now, which is why I like it in the deck. Unless, of course, he replaces our Reverse Valley, then we will not be 2-hit KOing him. So we just got to hope he does not do that. Let's see what he has benched. He's got a whole Garchomp line benched and his Judge, so that could be good. That is no good. That kind of sucks, actually. All right. So, yeah, Delinquent's a card. That can happen. Okay. Kind of levels the playing field right now because now we're going to be 3-hit KOing each other and he gets to swing first. So there's that. Yeah, I get it. Thanks. That's going to clear out our hand. Not worried about the Focus Sash. Even if he did play it on his Garchomp, it wouldn't have mattered. We can't take the one shot anyways. Now we just have to hope for like a legendary top deck. Like VS Seeker, Sycamore Legendary. Again, I'm okay with the Bite Off. Darkness, I guess we do what we gotta do. If we could find a Reverse Valley out of these two prize cards, we're in pretty good shape. Found an Acrobike and a Trainer's Mail, so that can help us get to one, for sure. Let's see how many we have in the discard right now. Unless the last one's prized, I think we should be okay. There's one. We've only played one, so we got 2 more in the deck. I highly doubt they're both prized, so hopefully we can fish one out, finish off this Garchomp, and then from there the game. He's going to attack a Strong Energy. I don't know if that matters. 70? No, it definitely matters. So, but we should be able to come back up and then KO with our Eviltal. So we're in a pretty good spot there. And he may have overextended a little bit there to try to get the knockout. He was probably better off playing the 3 knockout games. He's running himself out of energy pretty quick. He's only got 8 cards left in the deck. So he may have overextended a little bit. Once we take the KO on this Garchomp, it's pretty much over. If he could find a VS Seeker to bring up the Yveltal and take the knockout there, that's probably in his best interests. But let's see what he does. Nope, he's just going to go straight for the bite off. And we'll just promote our Yveltal, and then we'll be able to take the knockout. And then I don't see how he gets back into the game from that point. We'll bench our other Yveltal here. Nope, maybe not. I don't know. Well, it already happened, so there's that. I didn't want to do it. It made me. Yeah, we're going to Sycamore. Or actually, you know what? How many cards do we have left in the deck? 13. So I have 6 left. Yeah, we're going to Sycamore. Perfect. I don't know how many float stones I have left. We have the Reverse Valley. I don't know if I need to play it, because Evil Ball's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than enough. We'll just Evil Ball. Yeah, 2 energy, 130 damage. I would have taken the KO straight. Now we just have to make 1 more knockout, and then we win. And he has 0 offensive pressure on the board, and kind of wimpy Pokemon in these Octilleries. So we should be able to take the knockout on it next turn. 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, we'll knock out an Octillery next turn no matter what. He's got the Geibel. Nothing he can really do there. Can't Rare Candy unless he's got like a Maxie's or something that he can play, get a Garchomp out and bring it up and swing. But he can't. He just attach the energy, so I don't know how he's going to come back from this. Yep, so we're just waiting for him to finish out our turn so we can just attack and win. And we don't have to attack. We just have to end our turn and win. We're going to attack. We're going to take our last prize card. Oh, he's going to pretty much prevent us from doing that. That's okay. Yeah, he ran himself out of cards, so all I had to do is pass and win. But we had the knockout and lined up anyways, and I think he was out of Garchomps, to be honest with you. All right, great. So we got a win there. Brings us to 200 points on the ladder. If you guys haven't seen the ladder yet this week, I should have showed you that first. All the way at the end of it, we got Full Art N. This is the ladder we've been waiting for, guys. So I've already got 200 points on the ladder. I'm already doing what I can to get there. You got to average about 100 points a day. So far, we are on track. So we need to get it. But I'll need to get another 100 points today, of course, so I will play some off channel, and then we will make sure we get the get that end going. Everything else on the ladder is just okay. You got the Selby. I don't really know when this card would be useful ever, but you got it. You got your standard chests, tickets, tokens, your hollows, your packs, tournament tickets, which are nice. So I mean, you got your standard, ladder rewards. But really, the prize at the end of the tunnel is that Full Art N, and that's probably, like, I wanted the Getsus, yes, I want that N even more. Because N, if you didn't know, is getting a reprint in Standard, more than likely. Nothing's really been confirmed yet, but it's more than likely N's getting reprinted in Standard, which would be huge, because Standard desperately needs draw support, and N is probably among the best. Other than, your Sycamores and Junipers, N is your next best draw support card. In late game, it's really good if your opponent takes a lead, too. Okay, let's see what we get here. Alright, XY Yveltal and really nothing else. So, that's not cool. And my opponent's playing Pyroar, which is a weird deck. I mean, Pyroar used to be everywhere because Intimidating Mane blocked damage from basic Pokemon. And, before, it's like basically all you would see until Pyroar came out. You had your Virgin everywhere. You didn't really see there was no Mega Evolutions really that were playable because there was no Spirit Links. There was a lot of cards that didn't really have evolved Pokemon. So the first thing we're going to try to do here is we're going to attach. I don't know why he would let us go first. I don't remember winning the coin flip. We're going to take this VS Seeker. Alright, we're going to grab Evil Tall. We're going to throw that down on the bench. We're really going to need to get Gallade out this turn, or this game rather, because it's going to be very important to hitting those Pyroars. So we'll trash a Lysander with the compressor. We only play a 1-of, so it's going to be important to get that out. And I don't want to draw into another Gallade, so we'll throw that out. Nope, we don't need to. Okay, what is something else? Oh, here it is. Yeah, we won't need to draw that again, so we're going to just get rid of that. But next turn, hopefully we don't get another energy card. Hopefully we get something else we can play. But if it's an Ultra Ball, I'm going to keep around a couple other cards to discard to it to get the Gallade out. Unfortunately, one of them will have to be a double colorless energy. If it's an Ultra Ball, if it's Trainer's Mail, perfect, because then we can just use it, fail the search, and then play our other cards. I don't want to play the Stadium because I don't want to lose it yet. Should he play like a Scorched Earth or something like that, so I'd like to wait till next turn to play it. But we really, really need the Gallade out rather badly. I probably should have gotten rid of a Darkness Energy with one of those compressors, but you live and you learn. Alright, so my opponent's going to Sycamore, which is nice for us. He's not going to disrupt our hand at all, even though Judge probably wouldn't have disrupted us too much. He is playing a lot of Blacksmith, or a Blacksmith, so we don't know what his engine's going to be yet. If he starts compressoring, it could be doing the 4 Blacksmith, 1 Sycamore engine, which means that he could potentially be, yep, here's the compressor, could potentially be playing Catchers, which in these decks you do see Pokemon Catchers a lot because your main supporter every turn that you're playing is Blacksmith. So you see him play a lot of Catchers. Catchers you do now have to flip a coin for. Before you didn't have to. Now you do. So you flip a coin. If heads, you can switch your opponent's bench to if they're active. So half the time, on average, it works. I don't like it as much as I like Lysander, but for this deck it makes sense because you're going to be blacksmithing a lot. So what do you discard? 2 compressors and a Zerosic, it looks like. Okay. I don't get that at all. That was a little annoying, I'm not going to lie to you. Alright. So to get out our Gallade, which I feel is going to be essential to winning this matchup once Litleo comes out, we do have to sacrifice a double colorless energy to do it. I'm okay with it. We'll get Zorora out. I feel like we're going to need to be rushing in. There's Maxie's. Maxie's for the Glade and a new hand of 5. Alright. Our opponent forfeits. Got scared of the Maxie's power. It's okay. Get it. I still would have played that out. I mean, you had a pretty good position. You had an Evil Tall active that I really couldn't do much with once you evolved. I mean, you could have easily 2-shot it with, you know, Pyroar's attack. So I don't really know what that was about. But, you know, that's going to do it for today's episode. You know, the first video, we had a really good, first match, we had a really good battle for you. Second one, it just kind of quit right off the bat. Sorry I couldn't find anything better for you guys there. But we're at the half-hour mark, so that's pretty much where we like to call it quits for the day. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Hit that button right there. Did you do it? Come on, do it. Cool, thanks. All right, let me know what you think of the deck, any changes that you would make. Tune in for the rest of the week. I already have our deck planned out for next week. If anything that you guys want to see from the future videos, please let me know. We'll try to incorporate those into the matchup. There's a couple decks I want to use. I just have to acquire the cards for them. So we might be trying to do that relatively soon. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out with us today. Tune in tomorrow for the next episode. We'll see if we can you know, continue the winning streak and grinding towards that full art end. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.